Alright, we're recording. I'm gonna try to not cry. This is it. This is, I'm moving from Wisconsin to LA. This is the whole adventure. Yeah, I'm moving back to Wisconsin 7 years later. 2019, about this time, end of January, beginning of February, I packed up my whole car and moved across country to LA. 7 years later, and I'm going back. So let's get this journey over with, and then I'll get into it more on this video. So yeah. All right, so like the title says, this is episode 1 of my vlog career basically starting. Just like the title says, I am 30 years old living at my dad's house, and I am rebuilding my life. So I got a bunch of bullets here so I can kind of like keep track, because I definitely have a habit of just talking and rambling, and I want to keep this video on pace and on track. So let's get into it. My name is Mitchell. I go by 1UP Mitchell. That's like the brand name. And yeah, I'm currently at my dad's house in the spare bedroom living here. So I guess let's talk about my background. So I started making rap hip hop music when I was in high school in 2011. Maybe 2012 I think is when I officially started. And then that led me and my best friend basically were doing it together. We were doing that all the way up until 2016, where he brought the idea of going to like a music, specifically a music college for audio engineering in Chicago. So me and him went and did that. I went to college in 2016, and I learned there that I did not want to do audio engineering. I got more into producing beats and really got into production, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. So after college, once we graduated in end of 2017, going into 2018, I didn't really have like a plan, so then I got a job doing audio-visual stuff at hotels. I learned some of that stuff in college, so then that's what got me into that. So like I'm using my degree. So then I worked there for all of 2018, and then my buddy that I was doing everything with basically brought up the idea of moving to LA. So I was able to basically get a transfer at my job, and I transferred out to a hotel and was working in LA. So me and him moved out there beginning of 2019, and I was working basically all year up until the pandemic in 2020. And then basically lost my job. I was furloughed, and then that basically I was living off of unemployment for probably like the middle of 2021. So from 2020, start of the pandemic, all the way until summer, maybe late summer of 2021, I was living off unemployment, didn't really leave the house. And that was like a blessing and a curse. I changed a lot during that time. I started designing clothes. I found a love for like fashion and designing clothes. My beats got better. Played a lot of video games, which that is like my other major passion in my life. But then it messed me up a lot mentally. It kind of changed like how I think about a job and like regular life, and like doing just like the basic grind. So I really discovered like online money at that time. And so I learned that like you want to have multiple streams of income, because you never know what's going to happen. So then end of kind of lockdown, at least for me, I got into doing gig work like DoorDash and Uber Eats and such. And I was failing at that. I did not have the discipline or the structure to literally do that. I would start and stop building this brand, making beats a handful of times over the years. And I just wasn't really dedicated. I wasn't really pushing myself. I was dealing with depression a lot, which I'm still undiagnosed. But my mom was diagnosed, and I told her what I was dealing with, and she was like, yeah, that's basically what it is. And that was like a big struggle for me over the years living in LA. And then I was basically I let my life kind of start falling and like going into like a downward spiral up until beginning of 2025. Then my mom actually passed. She was dealing with liver issues, and then she passed. So then at that point, I really should have decided to move to my dad's to like restart my life then. But then I basically had like a spurt of motivation and tried to like stay out there for another year and really get after it, but it didn't go that well. So then a month and 2 weeks ago, probably like a month and 3 weeks ago, I packed up my car. Well, first I put a good chunk of my stuff in a storage unit in LA, and then packed up my car and then drove to Wisconsin. And I am now currently living at my dad's. He would always tell me like, oh yeah, you can always come back here whenever you need a place to live. So I took that opportunity because I was on a downward spiral. I really had no real plan and no direction. Just letting my life kind of pass me by, basically just letting every day go by. I was playing hella video games, and I love video games, but everything is good in moderation, and I was just indulging in that way too much, ignoring problems. When a problem would come up, I would just play video games and all that kind of stuff. So then now I'm currently living in Wisconsin, and I am in the process of basically starting over. So living at my dad's, obviously I don't have to pay rent. I don't have the stresses of like living by myself. I'm around family, which is huge because over the last 7 years of me living in LA, I didn't really have the opportunity to see family. Like I only saw my dad like 2-3 times over the last 7 years, which was a mistake. That definitely will be something that I regret forever, which I'm working on getting over because it's already in the past. So yeah, basically that's like the story of everything right now. And over the last month and 2 weeks, I've been kind of documenting this experience, posting about it on my Facebook, posting about it on Instagram, TikTok, and just kind of talking about it because I want to, not only do I want to like incorporate this into my brand of like rebuilding my life and everything, but also I'm doing it so I can like inspire people to make the change in their life if they need it. Like you don't have to wait until you're 30. You can be any age and you can just take a step back, look at where your life is going. If you don't like it, you can change it at any point. So I want to like inspire people. And especially now when things are tough, it's like, I lost my train of thought. I'll have to cut that. But yeah, this is like chapter 1, season 1 of like me rebuilding my life. And this whole thing is gonna be me sharing my experience. I want to do these vlogs here on YouTube, maybe like every 2 weeks, kind of doing updates and kind of day in the life type of stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of just sharing my story publicly and trying to inspire others and use my voice for good, because I feel very comfortable doing that. Like I don't feel ashamed or embarrassed, and you shouldn't feel embarrassed either. You don't have to sit here and do what I'm doing, where I'm sharing my journey of rebuilding my life. But you shouldn't feel embarrassed if that's what you want to do. You may have friends and family that may look at you different, but who cares? Like at the end of the day, it's your life. Not everybody's cards are different. or everybody's cards are different. Everybody's dealt a different hand. So you can't really sit here and compare yourself, because on the internet, you can hop on the internet and see an 18-year-old kid fresh out of high school making thousands of dollars a month. And it's like, everybody is dealt different hands. So yeah, I'm trying to be a good voice for people. And it's been about like a month and 2 weeks. The first month was, I was feeling really good because it was like the initial shock of doing it. Seeing a lot of family I haven't seen in a long time. I saw a lot of childhood friends I haven't seen since like high school. And we kind of kept in contact over the years a little bit, but not much. But seeing everybody was like we've been keeping in contact forever. So that felt really good. These past 2 weeks though, it's like the high kind of like went away. Like the high of like the move, which the move did exactly what I wanted to mentally. It was like a shock to my system where it's like you change your environment, your mental kind of changes for the better. But now is where the real work starts. And after like a month basically of feeling good, I'm slowly getting stuff right. I got plans for like my brand, got plans for like to deal with exercise and my health, and then plans for like my finances and stuff. I was taking basically a step every day, or at least trying to. But I didn't really have like a set routine, didn't really have set systems. So then like basically it got to a point where over these past 2 weeks, I started to fall back into like my old patterns of like not really doing anything, scrolling on my phone a lot because it's such an easy thing to just pull up my phone and waste time. So now these past few, probably like 3-4 days, I'm really trying to like start my day at like 6 a.m., get up, get super active, as in like I have an exercise bike in my room, which, oh no, it's actually like there. I have an exercise bike in my room, so basically I want to wake up at 6, get active right away, work out, do push-ups, sit-ups, all that kind of stuff, hop on the exercise bike. And then for my main source of income is I'm doing Lyft and Uber, because I learned that out in LA, it really is the best type of job for someone that's trying to like build a brand and do something else other than like a regular 9-to-5 job. Because for me, it's not as stressful as trying to do a regular job. I have real flexibility, but also it's like a gift and a curse for someone in my position where I don't have real good discipline installed. So it's really easy for me to just be like, oh, fuck it, I'm not gonna drive today. You know what I'm saying? I'll deal with the consequences later on that month or tomorrow or whatever the case is. But I'm really stuck on doing this because I think this is like the best option for me right now to really learn what it's like to work for yourself and be successful at it. Because I was doing this in LA, but I was not being successful. I was doing basically bare minimum and not getting by at all. I was getting help from family and whatnot. So right now is a perfect opportunity to really go hard in it and really learn discipline. That's like the closest thing to being an entrepreneur, honestly. You're not, it's not your own business, but like I said, it's like no one's telling you to get up. No, like there's no penalties if you don't do it. It's like, it's all on you. So learning that I think is super important for me because I'm trying to make a living off of doing creative things and like selling beats and all this type of stuff. I do Lyft from 7 to about midday, like 3, 4, 5 o'clock, and then I come home and then I work on the brand. And the brand is One Up Mitchell, like I said earlier. And that in itself is basically, the main pillars of the brand are music, fashion, lifestyle, and gaming. So with music right now, I'm basically making beats and I'm trying to sell beats online. So I'm posting about beats, trying to, I might start making like some cook-up videos here on YouTube, and we'll see how that goes. And then with fashion specifically, I have hoodies designed. It is kind of just like my logo and then like a design on the back of the hoodie. We are coming into summer here soon, so I don't know if hoodies are kind of the best bet right now. But they are going to be like my staple. I feel like I always want to try to be able to sell those. But that will happen later on. I think that'll happen towards maybe middle of summer or end of summer going into fall. And then lifestyle is basically what I'm doing right now. I'm basically just documenting the journey of rebuilding my life and building this brand. And then the gaming pillar, that's like more of like a passion project down the line when I'm like full-time creating. I want to do like gaming YouTube stuff. I'm really into like survival crafting games and stuff like that. And I think I can make really fun, cool videos about games like that. And then maybe get into Twitch or like streaming specifically. Doesn't have to be on Twitch, but maybe streaming video games. I'll have to try that and see if I like that. So those are like the 4 main pillars. And right now the main focus is basically the music pillar, and my camera stopped. I think I can only record for like 14 minutes. But I can talk, man. I can talk my ass off. Like once I get going, I just go, and that's the problem. That's why I got these bullets right here. So yeah, basically, I've talked about the story up until LA, what happened in LA, why I moved back to Wisconsin, and living at my dad's. I've talked about why I'm documenting it, how I'm feeling after a month, in like a couple weeks. I guess what the rest of this season is gonna look like is me slowly building things up. It's gonna be a lot of making beats and making music. It's gonna be a lot of discipline learning, or learning discipline. So I basically need to get my health right, get my fitness right. Because I haven't, overall, it's like I haven't been taking care of myself, so that's kind of like priority number 1. That's why I'm waking up at 6 a.m. and then working out right away. That's kind of like my main thing. So basically, in order, it's this season is going to focus on health, money, and then building the brand. And that is going to go up until basically I try to move out in like the next 6 to 8 months and get my own place. Probably here in Kenosha, Wisconsin, because the rent is not that expensive. And then I might go to, my next spot is probably Chicago. I have a real urge to live in Chicago, specifically like downtown Chicago, not like the outskirts. So yeah, that's kind of like what season 1 is basically gonna look like. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. I have to edit this and then watch it all back, and then I'll probably just post it today, honestly. You can follow me on everything, on every other app. I'm 1Up Mitchell. My BeatStars, where I have all my beats. If you're a rapper and you see this video and you're looking for beats, I have a BeatStars. And I guess the next episode I can get more into details about what I'm actually doing for my day-to-day. But I think we can wrap it up here. Get this guy kind of edited and posted. So if you've watched this whole thing, I appreciate it. There's more videos to come. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do, I would like to eventually get to the point where I'm doing weekly vlogs, but I don't want to overload myself with work right now. As I'm kind of just getting everything situated and really getting going here. So I'm gonna shoot for bi-weekly, so like every 2 weeks. So I'll probably post this one today, we'll make another one, and then maybe we'll post that in 2 weeks, and then try to be consistent with that. I'm posting basically every day on TikTok, so if you want to follow me on there. Instagram, I kind of want to only focus on posting pictures on there, because there's like a whole what's the word, like renaissance of people wanting like just Instagram to be pictures, but I'll probably post reels on there too. Those are kind of like the only places where I'm posting. I want to get into Snapchat more, but like, I don't know, it's just almost doing too many things at one time. I don't want to overdo everything and then stop, because I have a habit of doing that, of like over planning, giving myself a massive workload and then getting overwhelmed and then doing nothing. So I want to try to avoid that. So yeah, thanks for watching. There's going to be more to this, and if you follow the journey or want to follow the journey, subscribe, follow, all that kind of stuff that you do on these apps. And yeah, peace out. Test, test, test. Testing.